What's good, Pack Nation? Welcome to Packing with Gary, and this is my pregame review of Liberty versus NC State. I'm gonna go over the players to watch for Liberty, um, their style of defense, keys to the game, and who I think is going to win. Okay, I want to start out. Liberty's coach. He was asked about his team's defense, and I have a quote from him. He said, "Our guys know what to do on that side of the floor." Now, look. If the coach is talking like that, he probably knows his team is a really good defensive team. So you go look at the numbers. They play a pack line defense. They're holding opponents to 64 points per game. So some got to give because we can score. We're gonna see how we handle a team that can really lock up. Okay. Um, got some players to watch. We're going to talk about Zach Cleveland for them, Brett Decker, and Colin Porter. All right, those are the three that sort of stand out to me that I want to focus on. Um, Another thing is this team can shoot. Uh, I know that's not what we need right now because we can't guard the three, but unfortunately, that's what we're dealing with. This team can't shoot. Okay, don't say I didn't tell you. Let's talk about Colin Porter. All right, so this guy might not look like a hooper, but don't let the look fool you. All right, I call him little Andre Agassi. Y'all remember him? Like he played tennis back in the 90s, had the hair or whatnot. Anyway, uh, that's Porter for me. Like he's that's what he reminds me of. His hair is bouncing around. He's running up and down the court. He's a sniper. All right, you can't leave him open. You can't foul him. He's going to hit all his free throws. He's only 5'10", so he's not a tall guard. But he gets in the lane and he finds open shooters. He's definitely going. If he's not shooting a three, he's going to pass it to someone who is shooting a three. Okay, that's what he's going to do. Um, Another thing is the guy is getting like I don't know exactly how many rebounds, but I know he's had two games where he had 5 rebounds in the game. At 5'10", he's not afraid to get in there and crash the glass. So our guard's gonna have to be, aware of that. Then we move on to Zach Cleveland. All right, Zach Cleveland is like uh a do-it-all forward. Okay. He's averaging close to a triple double. Um, I mean, he's 6'7". He's gonna fill up the stat sheet. He's probably gonna be a thorn in us this game. I think he's third in the nation in assists per game. Yeah, third in the nation in assists per game. So what's that mean? He probably gonna dice us all the way up if our defense has not improved, right? Like and it's gonna be 3-point shots everywhere if we let him just sit there and pick us apart. But we'll see. We'll see how the boys do. Um, the good thing is Zach doesn't shoot the three. So we don't have to worry about Zach going out there and killing us from three because he's not out there. He has taken a three this year. So I'm really not concerned about that part. Even though he might see our 3-point defense and get happy. But so far, so good. We're not gonna have to worry about that. So that's about it about him. Now let's get to Brett Decker. Okay. Brett Decker, he shot 44% from three last year. All right. And I was like, whoa. Then I looked and he averaged 4.3 points per game. I was like, oh, okay. It's a small sample size. He didn't do that much. No biggie. This year he's shooting 58.7%. And I'm like, okay, cool. He probably not taking as many. Let me look again. Now he leads the nation in 3-point makes per game at 4.6. Okay. Yeah, the one thing that we're struggling with for real right now is coming with full force. All right. This team is not what we need until we get our 3-point defense fixed. But that's what's coming. The number one guy making 3-pointers in the nation is gonna be here in Lenovo. Okay. Um, it could be a long night for Lubin if they do this switch in all positions and he ends up on him. I don't know how that's gonna go. that's going to be a challenge for him. So I hope we have something different that we do there. Because with a guy making 4 3-pointers a game, he's averaging like 20 points per game. Um, Now let's talk about his measurements. He's not very tall. He's 6'3". So most of the time in our defense, he's gonna have a larger defender on him. Maybe that will help. It hasn't thus far, but maybe. Um, and another big thing is he not gonna pass the ball. Nah. This guy is not a passer. His job is to score. He's had one game where he had 3 assists. Okay. Um, and 4 games with 0 assists as a guard. And I tell you, if you get it and he's got room, he's putting it up. So it's very clear what we need to, do when it comes to him. Like you don't have to worry about him, getting you in the pick and roll and throwing a lob and not. No, he's not doing all that. It's to get his shot off if he's getting a pick. So watch for that. Um, you know, that sort of leads me to my next point, right? And really, it's just we're gonna get into the key to the game is stop Brett Decker. Like that's the guy. They go as he goes. If you stop Brett, you got a good chance to win. Okay, give him your attention. Don't be shading off of him, worrying about trying to play the passing lane. No, this is not a guy that we can help off of, right? You can't help off of him. If he's your guy, you need to be attached to his hip. I understand that's going to leave some, driving lanes or whatnot. But in this particular game, I think you're gonna have to make that adjustment. Um, because if you do the numbers like averaging 4 a game, that means some games he's gonna hit 6, 7, 8, and we know we give that up. So to a guy who can do that in his sleep, it's not really a good idea. But I'm pretty sure Will Wade's gonna have a plan for this guy. Okay. Um, Now on our side, this would be the perfect game for Paul McNeil and Matt Abel to be hitting at the same time. Okay. Because they're playing the pack line. We know pack line gives up open shots. They contest late on threes. And if you can hit that open shot that's given to you, it can really open up a game. So that's what we have going on here. We have to hit our open shots. If Paul is going to get those looks and they're closing out late and he's shooting over people and he's missing, it's gonna be one of those long nights. So I'm hoping, that he can hit the open one. And I hope Matt, doesn't start forcing it just because he has a little bit of space, but we're gonna see how that goes. We can hit the open shot, we'll be just fine in this game. They do not have a towering center. I believe their tallest guy. They have a few guys at 6'9", similar to us, I guess. It's just not a team that's really gonna dominate you inside. Um, but you know, here's my pick. If Wade has done what he said he's going to do and has his imprint on the team now and has stopped letting them govern themselves, I have the Pack winning by 30. Yeah, you heard me, 30. The spread right now is like 11 or something like that, I believe. Um, but if we guard the three with our depth and the ability to shoot from various positions, and them not being larger than us and being able to kill us on the boards, I think it could be a blowout. So that's my pick. Okay. Um, don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. And as always, go Pack.